Hello, everyone, and welcome to the July 25th KubeCon North America Kubernetes Contributor Summit planning meeting. As a general reminder, these meetings are recorded and we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which essentially boils down to please be excellent to each other. With that, let's dive right in. So lead updates. I don't have too much from me at this point in time. Actually, crap. Can be gone for next week's meeting. Can be at DevOps Days in Minneapolis, but I will be putting like updates and things like that in the notes for that one. Chief, can you think of anything?
No. I mean, there's not really much for us to do right now, at least in the public.
Yeah. There are some things going on in the background, which we'll share later. The only other thing I think would be I'll be working on stubbing out the site at some point this week. With that, CNCF updates.
We've got some there. First one, space has been updated after our conversation last week. If you'd like to give me screen sharing permission, I can show you what we finalized.
Okay, go for it.
Awesome. Okay, let me zoom in. All right, so we have the doc sprints are now in a smaller room, 413A, which if you look at the floor plan, let me zoom in here. This is as far as it lets me zoom, so hopefully that's okay. We've got, okay, so 410AB is our hangout and meals, which is our space over here. 412A and B are your meeting rooms. That's this one and this one. 413A and B is your doc sprint and your other meeting room that was requested last week. So these two. And then the general session and workshop rooms are in 420 and 420B, which are down here. Does that meet the number of meeting rooms? Because I added one more after last week. You'd asked to have another meeting room. Does that look like it would meet the number of meeting rooms you're going to need?
I believe so.
Okay.
Actually, one quick question. Can you go pop back over to the map?
Yeah.
So is this space pretty much just us, or is there like anything that's going to be further down? Essentially, will be people like walking through the space.
So there will be another colo over here, but they should be able to go up and down the escalators and elevators here, so they won't come into this space. And then you all have all the way this whole area is yours.
Okay.
And this people mover is going to be open. So there's a security person that's standing here that's directing people from the people mover down there. So basically they'll be stopping anyone from coming in your space.
Cool. Other thing just on this, is there anything like a coat or anything like that? Because do you remember how we've had the space for like giving away swag and all that?
Yeah, so we'll set that up in the foyer spaces or in the hangout space. There's not a ton of foyer space in this venue. Like it is not, unlike San Diego previously, or even earlier this year where we had that whole like foyer area. This is not, this venue is much different than that, which is why we have the hangout room. So we'd probably push the swag stuff into that area most likely.
Actually, I really like the idea of putting it in the hangout room, because that will also probably stop the random people from,
grabbing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then also food and beverage, like coffee and snacks and lunch and all that will be in that room. So people will remember to go in there to get their stuff too.
Cool.
When do we have access to the hangout space? Like, can we dump stuff in there the night before?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no problem. We'll be there setting up on, what day is that? Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah. So if you need to get in to do stuff, just let me or Brian know and we'll make sure you get in.
Cool.
And then you also have that space on
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. So you have half of it for 10A to use as your hangout space, and then the meeting rooms right across from it for 12A and B.
Awesome.
So it reduces to right there. So then people already understand this is like the hangout space, and they don't have to relearn a new space. So
do you know where is Reg actually going to be?
down 4 levels. I believe
Okay.
it's on the first level.
So big thing is we will probably want some good signage, or
Yeah.
you know, a decent map of go here.
Yes, we can definitely have that available. And at various points, because there are various elevator and escalator options to this.
Yep.
So
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions regarding space? I know I kind of monopolized that conversation.
Now you said we have the whole area. Do we also have 414 and 415 available to us?
no, CNCF has reserved those rooms currently for, I think one of them is an exec meeting room, like a Priyanka room. But yeah, so they have things there that they're having to set up for something else. So
Cool. Looks like you also posted the site videos and photos. However, they are, at least I cannot access them.
okay. Let me
Can
get
you
this.
can you share the drive link with the SIG Contribex list?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Arno also asked in chat how far we are from the badge pickup.
That's down on the first floor, most likely. Things can always change. We are still time between the event, but currently that's the plan.
And actually, also moving on to Reg on the Reg framework doc. Nabrun, Arno, were there any other outstanding questions? I think it was.
I have a question. So we do ask a question about the meet and greet. Do we still keep the question? Because I want to know like how many people do answer yes to that. Like how many non-SIG chairs or TLs answered that they want to volunteer in running one. If there are not many, we may want to like remove that question and specifically send the form out to the chairs and TLs mailing list for them to respond and get space from us.
I would be okay with moving it off to the chairs TLs, and we can also announce through our other channels.
Awesome. I think that was the only outstanding thing I had.
Actually, speaking of the meet and greet, Deb, do we have a space again during the main? Just confirming we have a space for it during the main conference.
The request has gone in. They have not finalized what room it will be in, but they
Okay.
are aware of it. So
Okay. Cool. I was very happy with how the one at EU went. It literally was standing room only.
awesome. We requested 10 tables, a room that has hopefully 10 tables. Again, it's whatever already is set up. So
Yep.
I can't make guarantees, but hopefully we'll have a little more space since I know more people show up in NA.
Okay. Okay, so with that answered regarding the meet and greet, were there any other sort of questions on the form, or is that pretty much good to go? Or Reg framework, I'm sorry.
I think one other outstanding comment was, should we keep the are you a member of one of the Kubernetes GitHub orgs question? I think we have it like mixed thoughts on this. So if you can decide, I think that would resolve all the doubts.
I know we look up GitHub org membership for everyone anyway. I kind of I don't care too much one way or the other. It served as a quick like litmus test of just like if they say no, then it's just like, oh, I don't even have to bother doing much more. But like I'd be okay with you know, removing it if it's essentially redundant. Does anyone else have any sort of preferences on it?
Honestly, if it's not a terrible pain on either party to keep it, I say keep it because it is a decent filter. Sorry, the hive mind has diverged.
I think to be on the safer side, let's keep it.
Okay. I think that resolves all those questions. Any other, let's see.
I think there's a comment from you about the date for registration.
Oh, in the form or in the framework doc?
Yeah, in the forum metadata.
Oh, and we can literally remove the registration date section because we're only going to be catering to active contributors. Actually, the one thing we might want to put on there would be closing reg and doing that like the Friday before or Saturday.
I would do Friday.
Is that what we've done in the past?
Yeah, because
Okay.
then because we have to connect everyone's registration with their KubeCon registration, and badge
Okay.
paper will start on that Sunday.
Okay. That works for me. So that would be the good date to under registration dates, just like I'll drop a comment in the doc.
Actually, let's do Thursday, October 20th, because that gives you all a day to review them.
Okay. Change accounts. Okay. So I just dropped a comment on the doc in there for it. So next, anyone have any other questions on, I know we're kind of jumping around. It's sort of going by the CNCF updates to drive some of these other conversations right now. Any other comments on Reg at this point in time? Okay. Deb, regarding Sketch, I don't know if you and Jason want to sync outside of this, we can hook that one up.
Yeah, I can ask that.
Okay.
Sad news. Motown Museum is not available on Monday night. They are already booked up. Really sad about that. So we are looking at other options, and we will get back to you with some additional potential venues in the coming week or two.
Okay. Jeff and I have done a fair amount of research on this. So
Okay.
Deb has the doc, I think.
Okay.
I don't know that I do. Did you share it with CNCF?
Oh yeah, I've shared it. I will.
Share it with me then.
Oh, I thought it made the rounds in LF events. I'll pull it up and link it to you.
Well, we have an entire list of venues and options and things like that, and
Okay.
for stuff.
Perfect.
God, which Google account does it live in?
Arnaud, we do not have the staff reg code yet. We have to wait for the reg form to go live and then we'll share it.
Okay. So we'll hold off on reception and all that other fun stuff. Thank you for looking at hoodies. Any other sort of questions at this point for Deb and the various like CNC updates?
I do have a comment. If we're going to be looking at hoodies as the handout, if the red form says t-shirt size and we are not giving out t-shirts and we are giving out hoodies instead, that could be a problem.
That is an astute observation. So make sure the reg form says hoodie size.
We'll make that up
Spoiler.
right now.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. With that, we'll pop over to content. Jason, have you started reaching out to any of the staff or started putting together, like toss together a CFP form?
Not yet. That was my plan to start tackling that this week. I wanted to start seeing some of the registrations start coming in with what folks wanted to see for content before I started putting together like categories and stuff with the CFP form.
Okay, cool. Any other questions for content at this point? Okay, comms, Caslin?
Hello. So I went ahead and put in a link to a doc that I used for EU to just kind of create a little checklist for the comms folks to track all of the different types of communications that needed to go out and if we had sent them. So that can kind of help to guide some of the communications that we might need, but it mostly starts from pretty late, which I mean, comms kind of start late, so that makes sense. If there's anything in particular we want to put on the list as like a rough list of comms that we're going to need, could we do that? Like just kind of brainstorm those for a minute.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we'll have our brands actually working on it right now. The email comm stock that we typically share with you all, we'll have that over for you later today, and that'll at least start with some of the emails.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful for you, but
Okay. Then there'll be the usual like scheduled tweets, and we'll probably need the Slack blast again to ask for SIG stuff later.
For
What
sign
that
up
was
for the meet and greet, just general like, you know, CFP announcements and all that other fun stuff.
Cool. Thanks. Just to get my mind working in the kinds of things that I'll need to make sure are taken care of. If you need anything, let me know.
Sorry, I have too many tabs trying to find back to the notes.
So it goes.
Okay. Popping back over to Reg. Does anyone is there any more comments on Reg at this point, or are we kind of good through that?
I think we are good for now.
Okay. Then celebration.
There's the unmute button. Yeah, so nothing super specific on my end so far. I spoke with Lockie about running trivia again because that seemed to go over pretty well. So we'll do that. And then I guess this being my first time running this, if there's anything else that should be on my radar at this point that I need to start looking into or working on, definitely let me know. I'll keep an eye out for when we have the updated venue information. If you want to send me that, any of the info that you've done on researching venues, it'd be fun to just take a look at what options are out there. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have at this point.
Okay. Jeff, can you just, if you're okay, cool.
I'm just gonna add one
I
word.
needed to see who has access to what and what stuff is in the stock, because there might be some stuff that I need to remove first. That's all.
I just want to add one word for the celebration. Karaoke. Just gonna leave it at that.
We'll take it under consideration.
Yeah.
I think that's a deeply popular choice with everybody except me. So I think maybe I'll just have to like take one for the team and make everyone else happy.
I do not like karaoke myself. And also, and if you try and get several hundred people.
I've only seen Bob do karaoke once in my life, and it was at my wedding, and alcohol was involved. It was also Journey.
There was karaoke at the San Diego reception.
Yep,
Did you see Bob get up on stage and do karaoke though? That's the point. Bob went and pet the dogs.
The dogs were amazing. That venue also was like, had a lot of various options for it. Okay. Any other questions regarding social at this point in time? Then awards.
So I added the awards in Doc Sprint. This is my first meeting. I apologize. I was on vacation last week. So I'm jumping in, trying to help out with the awards. I helped out with the virtual awards last year. There was a suggestion to make a change for the awards. I posted this from Slacks from Paris about modeling some awards to specific behaviors that we want to see. My only comment is that if you make any change to the awards, from one of my lessons learned from last year was that a lot of the SIG leads always ask for, is there a GitHub page, which we do have, on guidance for nominations. So for any changes that we're going to have, we should put it in GitHub, and so we could also have some examples. So I'm going to make a PR to kind of and with some examples with the SIG hat on as well on these new changes for the words of how we want to model some of the words for specific behaviors. So I'll see that, or I'll make that this week.
Cool, thank you. I'd have to think about ideas for those for that type of award, for alternative award options from sort of like SIG working group type ones.
Yeah, same here as well.
Any questions, comments for awards at this point in time? Okay. Ray, back to you for Doc Sprint.
Yeah, I just saw that there was a Doc Sprint on the Contributor Summit. I'm also a SIGDocs co-chair as well. So just kind of, I want to see if there was anyone else from SIGDocs was working on it, or should I start working on Doc Sprint? Like, should we have a theme for the Doc Sprint? Like for EU, it was for like mermaid diagrams. That this is for contributors. Do we not do good first issues, or should we have some good first issues, start creating some good first issues in preparation, or should we have like a theme, like do we work on a certain concepts page or task page or something like that?
Yeah, so I think these are really good questions for whoever's going to run the doc sprint, and congratulations, you just volunteered.
Or assign someone else in SIG docs. Historically, the summit staff have kind of been fairly, hands off with docs. It's just been like, okay, here's your room. You do what you want to do. It's all yours.
Lunch is at 12.
Yep.
All right, I'll bring it up in a meeting or tomorrow night's meeting, and we'll get some ideas.
Okay.
Spinning.
Just a thought on it. You might consider having one like new issues if a bunch of new folks show up, and if they don't, then have a backup theme.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have some good first issues created for it anyway, just to prep, because we do get a bump in people who want to contribute to docs after KubeCon anyway, so it's good to have that.
Arno, any SIG can request a room. We will have slots available for SIGs, and then we also have the rooms available the following day. So that will definitely be one item for the content submission. With that, does anyone else have anything else they want to talk about at this point in time? Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. I'll see y'all around in Slack. Oh, actually, one other quick random thing before I forget. For the leads, there's been a bunch of people that have chimed in on the thread that are potentially interested in shadowing. We can start like a group DM, or if you want to reach out to people, or if there's people that you're familiar with, essentially now's the time to start reaching out to people to try and put together the team. Big thing is some of the roles are very much biased towards being there in person, and others are a bit better for people that can't be, or are unsure if they'll be there. And the other big thing is for the people that are shadowing, is like the idea is to potentially be able to step up to lead and run it at a future one. And okay, now I think that's everything. Thanks, everyone, and I will see you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.